Your tribe spotted knowledge curiosity. Visiting it will be vision bonus. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's not going to show me the tutorials now. It's like, yeah, we know we didn't tell you everything. And we're called nomadic. That's a really bad name for this era if you're not actually nomadic. It's lying. Any way to reset the tutorials and settings? I mean, it's on. I want to double check that. Because I don't want to criticize them if it's just me being stupid. But I'm pretty sure it's not. Because now that is flashing, fine. But I'm pretty sure in the text tooltips it tells you. Nowhere does it mention that you actually need to settle during the nomadic era. Can you play as a nomad in Humankind? Clearly not, because that's what we just tried to do. Sucks to have to pre-order the game 4 months before launch in order to play this. I mean, their OpenDev stuff has been pretty generous. There is a message for that, Colinus. I think it's that? Hang on, let me go and look that one up again. Oh, it was Katie. It just took a minute to appear. So there you go. That's why. But yeah, thanks for being on the ball with that, Colinus. Right, what are we doing? I still want to find out if I'm mistaken with this or not. I wonder if I restart the game. Hang on, let's reload the game. See if that clears it. Oh, there's a command. Yeah, Katie, when you first joined the channel, you asked me to put that in. It's been there ever since. And I know that some of the moderators have used it in the past. Alright, let's try that again. Well, there's a lesson in there, Johnny 5. Be nice. Don't make assumptions.
Hello and welcome to Humankind's Lucy OpenDev.
I've already listened to this. And basically explained it when we started. Okay, so. Playing on normal difficulty. Double check that right at the end there. Main theme song for this game is amazing. Yeah, it is pretty good. Like, there are a lot of games with main theme songs which are really, really good. Hey, Innkeeper. No, there's no pop-ups anymore for that. I wonder if it is because it changes the tutorial level. Ah, reset. Hang on. It's right there. Small beginnings. Your objective in the Neolithic is to survive and reach the ancient era. Explore the land with your tribe and enter the new era through one of three means: by cultivating your knowledge, population, or animals. There is no mention at all of actually settling in the nomadic era. Okay, I don't feel like an idiot anymore, because it literally does not tell you. Your tribe is the core of your empire. In order to increase its population, you must increase the number of units. Every time you find food, this meter will grow. Once filled, you receive a new unit. Explore to find food. That's exactly what I was doing. Your tribe has spotted a food curiosity. Harvesting it will progress the growth star meter and help you gain a new unit. To harvest a food curiosity, move your army onto it. Knowledge curiosity. And they do actually have different icons, okay. You don't need to settle outposts to places where you go back to rest. Well, that's the thing. The tutorial has made no mention of outposts so far. None. If I hadn't played this before, I wouldn't have even known they existed. And because I've never played in this era before, I don't know how this era works. Had this on my radar for a while, but I removed it since I doubt they will have TTS support. More and more not wanting to support games that don't have it. That's your choice, Katie. Because, I mean, I don't know enough about development of that level, but I would imagine it's quite expensive. But I can't pretend to be an expert on accessibility development in games because I don't know enough. Although I do think that most games should have UI options where you can change the size of the UI. Like, that is pretty easy to do. You just need to have different resolutions available, or just different scaling. And then people can choose how big or small they want it to be. Because UI is just another layer. Especially in these, like, open modular things where you've got lots of different areas and lots of different parts of the screen. And it's all about just the spacing. Like, there isn't any real overlap. All of this can just be expanded. I have seen some games, the one that I was working on in particular, where the UI is kind of fixed because everything has to be in a certain place, just because we use every inch of this screen's real estate, whereas this doesn't. Different size UI is often the gateway for bugs, so I'm sure it is, and it's always going to be a bit janky to an extent, but... yeah, it's a difficult one. I feel for the people that need the accessibility issues, accessibility options, but I also kind of feel for the devs, because it ain't cheap. But where possible, like, where it's feasible to implement, there's no excuse not to. It's just the question of where that feasibility line is. Okay, well, I feel like I'm cheating a bit now that I know the map. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here. That would be an amazing city spot right there. Half tempted to just go up there. Are you just going to straight up attack me? No. Okay then.
As the eagle flies.
Oh, there's even obsidian up here. Okay, so this requires influence. Of course it doesn't actually say requires influence on the tooltip. That would be too easy.
Understood. Yeah.
Knowledge, which is influence. There we go. Cannot be done as terrain type is not valid. What? Oh, it's the cliff. Fine, I'll put it over here then. And now we're a settled nomadic tribe. Apparently. Alright, let's keep exploring. An ancient encampment. More science and more influence.
As the eagle flies.
There's a sanctuary up there. Sanctuaries usually have food. Once you've created an outpost... Oh, hello, mammoth. The territory where it's located is considered claimed and belongs to you. No one else can create an outpost there. Unless an opponent has open borders with you, they can no longer lawfully set foot inside either. If for some reason you are not satisfied with the position of your outpost, you can relocate it somewhere else inside of the territory. You can also develop into a city after leaving the Neolithic, enabling resource gathering, infrastructure construction, military production, but be aware that cities cannot be relocated. In both cases, these operations take several turns to complete. So this outpost has a population thing, but it can't actually form a city. We can lose our population to increase the size of our army. That's effectively just given us a population for free. Yeah, we're at 2 of 5 now. And that mammoth would kick our ass, so we're going to run over this way. Because there's only one of us. You should focus on curiosities and eat 10 of them. For what? I have not seen any notification saying I need 10 curiosities. See, here's the thing. Like, in this era... Yes, I understand you need to get this to go into the next era. Fine. No mention of settling. At all. In any of this. None.
Later we rest.
Food curiosity. I'll need that.
We move.
Alright, so we've got 15 food. Because you don't need to settle to go to the next era like you did last time. What? It's no difference. It's the same scenario. Maybe the devs think it should be obvious. Well, that's the thing, it's not. It's called the nomadic tribe in the Neolithic area. There's nothing saying you need to build a city. There is a lot of stuff saying you need to explore, though.
Later we rest.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there was food there. Bugger. Did you notice that your army gained a new unit? Harvesting food curiosities, hunting animals, or ransacking lairs are the best ways to collect more food. Where are we at? We have 4 knowledge, we have 3 growth. So if we grab that food, it's going to be another
This way.
tick. Fortunately, crossing rivers takes an entire turn. Let's go! Oh, and there's a sanctuary right there as well. Your actions have been rewarded with fame. During the Neolithic, you can win some more by discovering natural wonders or achieving either of the 3 Neolithic objectives. Fame allows you to leave your mark on history and to win the game. Indeed, at the end of the final era, the Empire with the greatest fame will be the victor. Cultural milestone. We can now choose. There we go. Oh my gosh, we are first instead of last. Alright, so slightly different situation this time, as we do still have a lot of rivers around us, but not as many. We're also way more up in the mountains, so the Zhu would be a better choice. We do still have a lot of rivers. We are not currently on the coast, but we do have available coastline nearby. So Phoenicians could be an option. Let's go through all the different options. Have you seen the affinity icon? This icon symbolizes the domain where the culture excels. Hover over it with the cursor to get more information. So Assyria. Yeah, we read that last time. Yep, okay, thank you. The Assyrians. The taller blade is the first to be cut by the scythe. So they are siege masters. They gain +1 land movement on a unit, and they can unlock action buyout on Empire. Not sure what that means. They can build the Dunu, which is a fortification. And then they have the Assyrian Raider, which is a pretty hard-hitting unit. Then we've got Babylon. Where the mind can see, the physical body can follow. They have +2 science per research technology on capital. Wow, that's really strong. And that's a legacy. They keep that throughout the rest of the game, I think. And they are a scientific... It's not actually telling me about what that does. The hover isn't working. Yeah, that is until the end of the game. They have the astronomy house, +2 food per researcher, and +2 science per adjacent farmer's quarter. -5 stability, +1 researcher slot. So Babylon would be another good one for like high population settlements. So again, where we were in the first game, Babylon would have been a good choice had it been available still. Egyptian. The seed cannot sprout upwards without also sending down roots. +1 industry on district producing industry. Modify district production cost by -10. They get districts cheaper. That's interesting. Egyptian pyramid. +2 industry, +1 influence per adjacent maker's quarter. +1 worker slot, -5 stability. So they are really, really productive. I'm just going to look at the unique units. Okay, they're all pretty strong. Then we've got the Harappans, which have the runners, which are a straight upgrade to your scouts. And because we got to the next era so much earlier, that might actually be useful. In the first game, pointless. +1 food on districts producing food, +1 food on rivers. +1, they can get canal network, which is +1 food. And on cities, they gain farmer slots but lose stability, and that building is considered a river. It's nice, but I don't think it's right for where we are. Hittites, +1 combat strength, unlocks buyout on Empire. Automatically upgrades the regular outpost to an Awari, can be used as a land spawn point for neighbour cities, and is also a unit spawn. And then you get the Gigir, which is actually the strongest unit we've seen so far. Myceans, illustrious warriors of the whole earth for their tomb. Modify unit production by... Their units are 25% cheaper for the rest of the game? Bloody hell. +25 experience on creating unit on city or outpost, unlocks buyout on Empire. +1 combat strength for units adjacent to the district. +5 fortification on the neighbour. +5 stability. Oh, sorry, -5 stability on land on lands is a land unit spawn is fortified to increase the movement point of the tiles within range for hostiles. And they get the Promokoi. So they're very defensive in this era, but in the future they're going to be very good at building armies very quickly. Nubians. Anything under the sun can be exchanged for enough gold. +4 money on luxury resource deposits, +4 money on strategic resource deposits. And then they have the Mero Pyramids, which is +2 faith, +3 money on adjacent makers' quarters. And they have the Tarseti Archers. The Olmecs, all that was and is, will be, is written in the stars. +2 influence on territory. Olmec head, +1 faith, +3 food, +2 faith per adjacent river. And they get the Javelin Thrower. Phoenicians. Unlike the lands, the seas give the merchant no obstructions. Modify all constructible buyout costs by 25%. So they can buy structures for cheaper. They can also build havens, +2 money per adjacent coastal water, +2 money per adjacent lake. +1 trader slot, -5 stability, replaces the harbour, is a naval unit spawn, allows units to embark without any movement cost, and they can build the Byreme, so we could go to sea with the Phoenicians. The Zhou, judge not an empire by the strength of its armies, +2 stability on district, +3 science per religion, +3 science per adjacent, +5 science per adjacent mountain, and they can get the Zvanche. And that's everyone. So Phoenician would be good, because we are going to have access to a lot of coast. Access to a coastal water. So a haven, for example, here would have a 3. Yeah, there's none which is just like a jutting out peninsula on its own. So 3 is going to be the max anywhere. And it doesn't look like you can actually build stuff on the coastal waters, which was one of my questions. You know what, let's do this as a poll. Let's set that up. So Phoenicia is going to be one of the options. Other ones, I mean, Babylon just sounds ridiculous. And we are in an area, like, if we spread south instead of east, we know that there's a lot of food over there. So Babylon would be good for that. Egypt would be good just for straight up production. We are in an area with a lot of production, I believe. Yeah, we are. And even, like, if we go down into here, there's a lot of production there too. So Egypt would be good for the production. And we basically stay up in the mountains. Then we've got Mycenaeans just for crazy combat abilities. Nubians. Money per adjacent maker's quarter. That's an interesting one. So Nubia has an interesting interplay between production and money, but we don't have many luxuries or strategic resources. That might just be because we don't know about them, but I don't feel like I know enough about the game to really say definitively. Phoenicia, we've already said. Zhou. We are up in the mountains. And they're just very stable. So it could be a more far-flung empire. So we've got Babylon, we've got Egypt. We have the Phoenicians. I don't know enough about religions in this. What counts as mountain? I actually think that, yeah, that's a mountain. We don't have any adjacent mountains, actually, never mind. There are some, there's a bunch down here, so if we were in this area, then Zhou would be great. Actually, there's some here. Oh, these are adjacent. Yeah, okay, we'll add the Jew to the list. And we can have one more. OpenDev is 4 eras. Yes, it is. If I get this right. Neolithic, ancient, classical... No. Neolithic, classical, medieval, early modern. And possibly Harappan. Because their ability to build really big populations is pretty astonishing. And again, we are actually close to a lot of rivers. I think we'll need to move quite quickly to get that. And they would also be better at this start, because we're getting to this era earlier, so we can actually make use of their runners. Alright, those are the 5 choices. Get your votes in. Vote, vote, vote. Which of these 5 tribes should we embrace as our first? So the Phoenicians are the traders, because we're up on the coast. Babylon for just science! Lots and lots of science. Egypt would be more productive. They would be the highest production empire that we've got. Zhou make use of the mountains and things around us, and they'll just be very stable, steadfast. And then Harappans would be large populations. There are a lot of rivers around us, and they make great use of that. Hey, Reggae. Zhou, or Harappans, or Babylon. Yeah, like, these are all good choices. That's the thing. And this vote is showing that. And I did miss a bunch of things. I am sorry. Sprout Giant, thank you very much for the follow. Game Spaz, thank you for the follow. Uxknown Axtro. And Flying Muttley, thank you very much for the follows. Welcome to the channel. Unsung D coming in with a 22-month resubscription. Thank you very much for the ongoing support there, Unsung. Really do appreciate that. Then we've got Katie coming in with the 29-month resub. Thank you for that. And King Teddy wants me to drink some tea. Hey, Teddy. And I also realised I am fairly sure that I missed one of Sindrin's bits things. Let me just bring up a bigger list. Unfortunately, there is no record of bits outside of the chat, so if this chat scrolls by, then it's gone. This is annoying. Like, the implementation of the highlighted text works so much better than the bits text, but the bits, people are actually paying for the privilege. This should be the other way around.